Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new F1 2020 video. This is the first league race I'm doing in 2021. It's been a while since I did a league race. Last one was around Abu Dhabi in ORL. This is PSGL, a brand new season. First race around Austria, as you can see, super exciting, really high quality grid. And as you can see, currently P12 in qualifying 1. That lap time was set on the mediums. As you can see now, going through the second last corner, 7.5 tenths up. I'm taking it quite careful. I don't want to invalidate, as it's going to be quite easy to get through Q1 anyway. So P4 it is. Didn't give it all I had. 102.354. Fastest was a 102.1 by Barry Boromant. So 2 tenths off, took it quite careful, didn't want to invalidate of course, and so on to Q2 basically. And then as I load into Q2, right there you could see for a short amount of time, rain in 5 minutes. So I want to go out as fast as possible. I want to be out on track as first, on a new set of tires, as if you don't get the lap in fast, then the rain is going to hit and you're going to lose a huge amount of time. So going out, luckily we're at the end of the pit lane, coming out as first, so we're first on track, which is really good of course. And then I'm just going to push as hard as I can on this out lap. And then as you can hear in a second, I asked Jeff about the weather.
Rain is imminent, be careful out there, dry, seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Rain is imminent, which means it can hit at any moment. So got to push as hard as I can on this out lap. I can't take it easy. Just want to get my lap in as fast as possible. So that's what I'm going to do. Through the fast corners, I of course don't want to push as hard, but still not save the tires as well, because need to get that lap in. And also interesting, start of the race, I can confirm will be wet. Or light rain at least, so that's going to be interesting. Doesn't matter what.
We don't think it's going to stay dry for much longer. The rain could come at any moment. Watch out, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
So it doesn't matter what tire we qualify, we have to start on intermediates anyway. So now starting my lap, gonna take it a bit more cautious than normal. Still gonna push of course, because I wanna get in the top 10, but I expect some people to invalidate for sure. So going through turn 1, try to carry as much speed as possible. Don't cut on the inside, especially in a moment like this, as I just want to get my lap in, and then braking at 75 meters down to second gear, short shift to third to avoid wheel spin, and then open the DRS, upshift to 8th gear before the next corner, and then brake again at 75 meters. It's quite downhill here, so you need to trail brake a lot to put the force on the front tires to get a car rotated. Then take a short line to the next corner, brake as the curb ends down to 6th gear to carry the minimum speed. Then brief moment up to 7, down to 6th. And you can see I'm taking it quite carefully with track limits through there as well. And especially through this last part, I'm going to take it careful, as it's easy to invalidate both on the inside and outside. And then going through the last corner, again, took it quite safe. Low minimum speed, 102.414, which should be enough to go through. And quite sure I won't be the fastest, as I took it quite careful, especially in the high speed corners. You can see right there, 1.3 tenths off, but we didn't need to put an amazing lap in. All we had to do was go through onto Q3 basically. So now on to qualifying 3. This is the end of my first push lap on a new set of tires. Still have 2 sets of new tires going into qualifying 3. So finishing my lap here. Just had to get a solid banker in, so I didn't push it to 100%, but still 102.263 is a decent banker to start off with, and I kept pushing on this lap, but didn't really get it together as the tires dropped off. So now on to my last qualifying lap. I made sure I had time enough to do another one in case I invalidated, but as you can see, going through turn 1, already 600 or 700 up, just carrying more speed through the corner, taking more risk. Track is evolving as well of course, so again braking at 75 meters down to 2nd gear, carry the speed into the corner, short shift to 3rd. I got a little bit of wheel spin, open the DRS there, and then short line to the next corner, get close to the grass, brake again 75 meters down to third gear. I carried a little bit more speed than usual, that's why I got a little bit of understeer and washed out wide. And now up to the next corner, up to 7th gear, down to 6th, touch the curb on the inside for rotation, up to 7th gear, open up this corner nicely down to 6th, and then up to 7th again, use all the track available. And now the most difficult part of this track, up to 8, down to 7th. I took it a little bit too careful there. Minimum speed was not where I wanted it to be, and you can see on the delta I lost a little bit of time there. But up to the line it's a 102.087. I went to try, I kept pushing but I didn't, I had enough fuel anyway. As you can see it's on 0.82, and for a qualifying lap you need 1.25, so I wasn't gonna have enough anyway. Barry went I think around 1.3 times faster. But anyway, it's a good starting position. Austria is easy to overtake, so yeah, if it's gonna be P2 in the grid, you can see there's still time remaining, but as you can see on the end result there, P2 on the grid, ahead of Alvaro Carreton, Josh Idaho, Philip Breitsneider. And then as I said before, rain in the race, starting on inters, and then it should dry up after around 15 laps, more or less, 14 laps. So that's definitely going to be interesting with strategy. Who's going to gamble at the right moment to go back onto the slick tire. And as you can see here, just pulling away for my formation lap behind the Barry Borman on pole. We're starting on the inside, first corner to the right, as you saw from qualifying, of course. Rear left tire really cold for some reason. It's a bug that has been in the game for quite a while now. But anyway, we managed to warm the tires nicely in the formation lap. Lining up P2 on the grid ahead of Josh Idaho, who is right behind me. So it's going to be interesting. It's a full grid, 20 people. So it's going to be a busy race for sure. A lot of F1 Esports drivers or future F1 Esports drivers in here. So yeah, let's do this. So now the green flag is being waved, which means all cars are ready, as it's 5 red lights and away we go. Barry Burman seems to get a slightly better start than us, but looks like we get a better start than everyone behind us, so P2 it is going into turn 1. I got a little bit of understeer on entry there, which costed me a little bit of time, so going into officially turn 3 I think it is, quite close behind Barry Burman, but not close enough to really do anything. We're safe from everyone behind, so only have to focus on Barry for now. And as you can see as well, it's quite dry, it's not really intermediate conditions, so I expect the tire wear to be quite high, and we don't really exactly know, of course, when it's gonna dry up. Weather prediction set around lap 14 I would say, but we cannot really trust that, so I'm just gonna sit back and save tires in case it dries up later, so that we will be safe from any punctures in case it does get risky. But at the same time, we cannot lose too much time to Barry. In case he makes a mistake, we want to take the lead, of course, and we don't want to lose any track position to Alvaro Carreton, Josh Idaho or Philip Breitsneider in the coming laps. So need to save tires, but at the same time maintain quite decent pace compared to everyone around me. Barry has the fast lap as he is the first to cross the line, of course, as I also decided to select the hard tires already, or I think I actually selected mediums for now, because as if it would dry up right now, then we would have to make 2-stop, as the hards won't make it from here until the end. So selecting mediums for now, and might go back to hards when we get later on. You can see it's still
should be ending shortly. We should see a dry line start to form fairly rapidly, so make sure to cool your tyres down the straights. We're not certain which is the best tyre right now, dries or inters. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
So as you can see, still on intermediates at the end, or halfway through lap 8 should I say. So from here on the hards might make it to the end, but it will be very tricky. So I select the hard compound. I expect Barry to probably pit this lap, as the rest is enabled now, so I reckon Barry is going to box now. So yeah, I expect him to box this lap.
It's still slightly quicker at the moment.
Okay. He crossed the line, so that's going to be a penalty.
Okay, copy.
So yeah, Barry boxed this lap, which is probably the best lap to go into the pits. And he decides to go onto the mediums. So he's going to choose for the 2-stop from here on. And I'm going to decide to go for the 1-stop and try to make it to the end on hard compound tires. And on the end lap, I need to push hard as possible. I need to use the ERS that I still have. Don't want to get to 100% in the pit lane, of course, because that will be a waste of energy, of time. So I'm going to push hard as I can. Purple sector 1. Fuck off with your strategy, man. As you can hear me getting frustrated with Jeff. I've put him on response only, but still comes with alternate strategies, even though I didn't ask for it. So yeah, frustrated, pushing as hard as I can on this in-lap. Tires are pretty done, to be honest. I think around 50% already after only 9 laps. So 2/10 up on my personal best.
Pit entry.
Yep. And yeah, boxing this lap onto the hards. Probably the mediums will be quite a lot faster in these drying conditions. Softer compound is a lot better on drying conditions.
Great job. I think a lot of people crossed the pit lane line, by the way. So
what tires is Barry on? Josh on mediums. Barry mediums as well, but they won't make it.
no, it's not gonna make it. Couldn't see it, they didn't show it on the stream.
I'll just try and stick with Alvaro for now.
Yeah, just try and stay in this DRS as best you can.
So as you just heard a conversation between me and JD, at least Barry crossed the pit entry line, which, if we follow the rules, as it was mentioned in the briefing, he should get penalized, as I got penalized in PSGL last year as well for crossing the pit entry line, 5 seconds to be exact. So yeah, even if it's a mistake, he should be penalized. I won't be able to stick with Alvaro. As you can hear me say as well, won't be able to stick with Alvaro. Those hards are really tough in the first few laps in general, but then especially in drying conditions. So yeah, I need to let Alvaro go for now. Might get him back later on, as he needs to make a pit stop, of course. And now, moving on to lap 15, Josh has catched up to me. Alvaro 3-second gap. 105.8. 106.1, 3/10.
If the wear continues at 3.2%, it'll be around 86% at the end of the race if he didn't pit.
I'll let Josh go. How many percent do you say?
It would be around 86%.
86.
Yep.
Okay.
If he pitted at the lap 9,
I think so, yeah.
just 84 to 86, something like that.
So yeah, as you could just hear, 84 to 86% scheduled until the end of the race if I keep pushing like this. So I decide to let Josh go as he's still faster. I can benefit from his pace at the moment by just sticking with him. I will use his DRS and also my ERS to stick with him, and at the same time save my tires, because I can use my ERS to stay within his DRS and then just take corners a little bit slower, no wheel spin, no locking up, slightly lower minimum speed, and then I will save some tires, which I need, because 84 to 86% is puncture territory, which is not what we want. I know Philip behind me had to push really hard to stay within the DRS of Josh, so he will be in more trouble than me in the end of the race when it comes down to tire wear, as Josh comes into the pits at the end of lap 24 to probably go onto the soft compound tires until the end of the race. Josh probably won't really be a threat from here on. He has to make up 18 seconds if he wants to battle both me and Philip, but Barry is only 8 seconds ahead at the moment. So Barry needs to gain 10 seconds in 10 laps basically.
Yeah. He's got a penalty as well, so...
What?
He's got a penalty for the pit as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I know. True.
His last lap was a 106 dead.
think I've managed to bring the tire wear back quite a lot.
Yeah, no, you're well on track. Good.
So as you can hear, both me and JD expecting a penalty for Barry. Also, I've managed to bring my tire wear back to less than what was scheduled. So now I'm well under 80% or just under 80%, which means I'm out of puncture territory, which is just what we need. But at the same time, we need to maintain pace because Barry on those softs will be gaining a lot.
Barry's under 30% ERS.
Okay, I'll make sure of 100 once he reaches me. So Barry just hit under or just got under 30% ERS, which is good for us because we have almost 100 as you can see. And I just need to make sure that Philip doesn't get too close because we basically want to use Philip as a defense from Barry at this point. But at the same time, Philip will be struggling with tires as well. You see, I'm using some overtake right here, so Philip doesn't get stuck behind me or goes next to me or tries to overtake me. Because that's not what we need. We need to work a little bit together, or I need to help him a little bit. So first of all, he doesn't get overtaken, and second of all, if he doesn't get overtaken, that means I'm more safe from Barry on those new soft compound tires, which will be degrading as well. But we have done almost 25 laps on those hards, and he has only done 6 to 7 laps, as Barry just got into P2, and you can see their rear tires are really going off now. But we still have a lot of ERS, which I'm going to use to defend. But at the same time, I was like, maybe I shouldn't fight because I knew he was going to get a penalty, or that's what I thought at least. And now he is going next to me, and I'm probably looking back at this, I probably should have defended. As we go side by side, we have a little bit of a nudge. He's going to get DRS, and then I tuck back into a slipstream. You can see his rear light starts flashing, and then he decides to defend like 3 times in one straight, which was a bit interesting. So yeah. Down to P2, you can see his rear light flashing, so I felt like, okay, maybe I can come back. But you can see it just has so much more grip through this middle sector on those fresh soft tires. And I'm gonna use my ERS to try and at least stay within his DRS. But it won't be easy, of course. His tires are a lot faster at this point. I'm still gonna get DRS through here. Now probably will keep the DRS for the rest of the race, but it won't be easy to have a go at him again after he got past. So looking back, I probably should have fought it a bit harder, but at the same time I was confident he was going to get a penalty, which I can already say now he didn't, which was quite interesting from the stewards, considering I got a penalty last year in the same league for the exact same thing. So in my opinion,
You can afford to push the tyres last time, just go for it.
Yep. In my opinion, really unfair, as it was literally said in the driver's briefing as well. And also, it's in the rules. If it wasn't in the rules, then I would completely agree and say, yeah, then we're just allowed to do it. But now, if you make a rule, then also stick to it. That's my opinion. I can't change it anymore. So, for next race, I need to understand as well that the stewards are not going to be very strict with those kind of rules, unless they decide to change that again. So yeah, I put my personal best of the race, 105.506, 4 tenths faster than previous, which is of course because of the DRS and the ERS that I'm using. The tires are pretty worn at this point, as going into the hairpin only 6 tenths behind. And now on this little straight I'm going to use all of my ERS, but I know as well it won't be enough. 77% tire wear, which means by the time this lap ends we will be around 79 to 80. You can see Philip behind me struggling massively on the tires. As I said before, he had more tire wear as he had to push harder on earlier on in the stint. So going through here, I've managed to stay with Barry until the end after he got past, but simply don't have the grip anymore. You can see the rear going away from me there, and we're gonna finish P2. At the time I thought I had won, but we didn't, so we're gonna finish P2 in the first race of 2021. Well, that should be enough for the win.
Nah, it should be a win if the rules are the rules. No, great job, man. same pace in the hard tyres.
Yeah. I'm happy I saved up actually, because it was only 79% in the end. So officially P2 in my first league race of 2021. Thanks everyone for watching. I will be uploading one every, I think Saturday. Every Thursday I live stream this race on Twitch, so make sure to follow me there as well. And make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more F1 2020 content, and see you guys next time.